Hey, good morning and happy Sunday. Something like that. Anyways, didn't practice that obviously. Happy Sunday, and um, to be self-indulgent, happy 60th birthday weekend to me. Darren Dards, whatever you want to call me. Some people call me Richie, some people call me Darren. Most people who know me for a long time call me Darren. Anyways, cheers to you for making it through another week. Cheers to me for making it through 60 years. Anyway, really surreal. Really surreal feeling because I don't know, I had a problem with it earlier this month, and it was like, wow. 5 years from retirement. Well, in a normal world where there's a good economy and you can actually do that and that kind of thing. But anyways, on paper, that's it was 5 years from then. I remember there was this thing called Freedom 55 when I was growing up, and oh man, wouldn't it be great just to be 55? Man, that's so old, when you're 30. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm here working, my hands are working, and hey, it's good, and it feels good, and age is only a number, and I'm gonna be okay. But anyways, yeah, thank you for, hey, amazing, thank you for all the birthday greetings that are out there. I'll put another post up today about it, but just amazing outpouring of love and friendship, and past friendships, and people I went to high school with, people I played in bands with years and years ago, 30 years ago, and just great to hear from everybody. Great to be part of your lives if you watch these things that I put on. Social media, a lot of social media friends that have, and some of them have become good friends. Some of them are just people that I just haven't hooked up with in a long time, and it's just great to hear from everybody. So, thank you for all the birthday greetings. That was awesome, and yeah, it feels weird when people were saying, "Hey, happy 60th," and I'm like, we're at a restaurant last night, and the waitress was saying, "Yeah, happy 60th," and I said, like, really, really. I mean, I'm older than my dad was. It's just a weird feeling, and I don't think it should be anything different than feeling the way you feel when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, because that's how I feel. I just feel like I'm still just rocking with music, keeping my family hopefully fed and happy, and that's the way we're supposed to do it in the traditional world. And maybe I'm a little traditional that way, but yeah, good friends, great weekend with a lot of people. Starting on Thursday, which was my actual birthday on May 28th, and of course, in Darren fashion and D'Souza fashion, we were a hardworking group, us family. My parents never stopped working. I don't think my dad ever missed a day of work. I heard my mother, and just never stopped working to provide and still have a good balance, which is what everybody needs to do, and I try and do that. So, of course, on Thursday night, I worked, and worked during the day, and I worked in the night and taught, and it wasn't a very heavy teaching night. And I had my daughter Kaylee with me at the next studio in Paris, and she bought me a box of Joe Louis Vachon cakes because she said you have to have a cake on your actual birthday. So I had a cake on my actual birthday. Vachon cakes. Rogi Vachon cakes, yes. But, and then Friday, I basically had a travel day to Lindsay, Ontario. Yeah, I know that's not that far, but when you drive through Toronto traffic, it's a travel day. And had a great show in Lindsay with my boys and Keep the Faith. it's always great to play on your birthday. Of course, happy birthday to Doug Adams, who is May 26th, and Doug Broadfoot, who is June 3rd coming up. So we had kind of three birthdays in one at one gig in Lindsay on Friday night. Great. Thank you, Lindsay, by the way. Amazing crowd. Very, very, very heartfelt crowd, and a lot of people from last time we were there who saw us play. And it was a great time. I had a great time on stage. It was lots of fun. The new show is coming together for Keep the Faith for 2026. So that was Friday night. Friday night. Usually we try and just get home, but then my son Jacob said, "Hey," who lives basically on Danforth and Pape in Rush Tradition. That's where he lives. He said, "Hey, you're just driving by, coming home from Lindsay to Brantford. Can you pick me up?" So we picked him up, and we get to his house, and he's asleep, and couldn't wake him up. So we got home a little later than we wanted to. Woke up Saturday morning and had everybody, the whole family at home, and went out to dinner with some friends, with Chris and Lisa, and the entire our immediate family, and great dinner. We had great times, and today is Sunday, and back to reality. But actually, the kids are still here, and I think we're gonna go see. We're probably gonna go out and see a movie. So it's a full 4-day birthday extravaganza for me, which is great, because it was a big one. 60 is a big one. But and I'm being a little traditional. I played earlier. I can't stop playing Triumph. I can't play. Yeah, so that was the Blinding Lights show. Just before the guitar solo, and I played a little bit. No, I didn't really practice that. So as you can tell, played a little bit of the live solo, because Triumph always changed stuff live. That was really my coming of age of, hey, you can change stuff. Wow, you can change arrangements live and make them better than they were, right? So, but that was one of my first introductions. It's in my top 10 of first introductions to rock guitar for me. Rick Emmett playing. That great, just a intro to an amazing guitar solo. And then there's a certain, what were the pinnacle points, if you're a guitar player out there or a musician out there? What were the pinnacle points where you heard something? I heard Supernaut by Black Sabbath. I forget what even key that song's in. So that riff in Lee Fowler's living room on Superior Avenue in Toronto. His brother, his Uncle Brian's Black Sabbath albums. We opened them up, and that was the first song off of Volume 4. I hope I get that right. And Supernaut was the first major guitar riff that turned me on. And said, "Wow, that's powerful." And then there was. I can't play anything today. Carry On Wayward Son was another big riff that kind of just went, "Wow, yeah, I want to play guitar." And then there was, of course, a lot of 70s stuff in Rick Emmett, Eddie Van Halen a little bit later on. I got into Van Halen a little bit later, because let's face it, guys, when we can't play that stuff when we're just beginners, right? You gotta play some stuff that's a little bit easier, and then work your way into it. That's why, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, simple riffs to get ourselves going. Then you keep those all through your whole life if you can remember them. But and then this guitar was my first good guitar. Actually, it's the first one that I still have, because out of all the guitars I have here and I've collected over the years, which is an excessive amount actually. So, but I've only sold 5, and I've regretted all 5. And my first electric guitar, my friend Brad Smith still has it. Hopefully, he still has it. It's at his house in Rochester, New York, and was an El Degas. Kind of looked like an old Ibanez copy. And then I had a Flying V, which I sold to, I I remember his name. I think his name was Warren. He used to play in a Guns N' Roses tribute, but I knew him from way back, and he bought my Hondo Flying V because I was when I discovered Michael Schenker, and I had to have a Flying V, and so I had a Hondo Flying V, which had a Strat headstock and a Strat whammy bar system, standard Strat system, but it was a cool looking red V. I got a picture of it somewhere, and then I got this guy here, which was my 1983 Ibanez Roadstar 2. If you have a 1983 Cherry Sunburst Ibanez Roadstar 2, it looks nothing like this. Well, similar. The body, the old body, the pickups, and the tuners still say Ibanez on them. I think that's it. Body, pickups. I think that's the original switch. I think it's the original electronics in it, which are fine. And everything else has changed out. Floyd Rose 2, under the hood, blocks, big blocks, red springs, silent springs, third neck it's had on it. I've talked about this guitar before. I shouldn't even bother. You guys have seen this. It's boring. This is reruns. Anyways, this is my traditional heartfelt birthday video, so that's why I'm playing one of my first, the one that I still play out of my first guitars. I still have my first guitar, which is an acoustic guitar by a company called Laro, which was, don't even look for it. It's one of those Canadian-Japanese import things, just like El Degas was. El Degas guitars were, and a few others that were just strictly for the Canadian market. And buying guitars back then was interesting because we used to get seconds in Canada. We used to get factory seconds. They used to send those like for Fender and the bigger companies used to send our 2, and there used to be a 2 stamped on the neck, and you knew it was a factory second, which was meant there's some kind of imperfection in the body or whatever, and they but the stores in Canada still sold them for I think the same price, but wasn't any better, but we just got the lesser stuff. Somebody from one of those companies may disagree with me on that, but I think I paid attention to it a lot back then because I was at that brain, sponge era where any piece of information about guitars you were just picking up and going with it, right? And it was just the way you kind of thought when you're learning how to play guitar or anything that came out. And we didn't have, in the dark ages when I was growing up playing guitar or learning guitar, we didn't have tab or we had magazines, but magazines didn't have tab in them yet. And they distribute basically your read notation, which, thankfully I could read notation and get through a lot of the exercises and jazz stuff that was in Guitar Player magazine. And then subsequently Guitar World magazine. And when I found out there was guitar magazines, that was like the biggest thing in my life ever, that we can actually read about all this stuff. I used to read my guitar players from cover to cover. And it was funny because, they still, in a Rolling Stone magazine kind of way, didn't treat the rock guys like they treated the more, how do you say, what they thought was more established musicians like Steve Howe and all the jazz guys like, basically Diorio and the big guys of the time, even like the classic jazz guys like Hugh. I can't remember anybody's names today because I'm 60. But Wes Montgomery, that was the guy I was trying to think of. So those people were on kind of a, what they call the gallery of greats. If you won best overall guitar in their readers poll for 3 times. I think it was 3 times in a row, maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. Maybe it was 3 times in a row. You became Gallery of Greats, and you were now no longer could be voted on in the Guitar Player Readers Poll, which was the most prestigious thing at that time. And I know Steve Howe was one of the first ones up there, and then they all got into the Gallery of Greats somewhere along the line. I think Eddie was in there. And then the Readers Poll kind of went away, and then there's a whole plethora of guitar magazines in the 80s. It's just exploded. And now there's this Guitar World left, which is I thought I had my copy down here. Did I not bring it down? Ah, jeez. Anyways, I didn't bring it down. But anyways, for my birthday, I bought my own birthday present for myself. I bought myself a copy of Guitar World, which has Geddy and Alex on the cover. And in fine Canadian rock tradition, has a story on Triumph in it, but Rush made the cover. Again, the parallels between Rush and the comparison, if you will, between those two amazing Canadian bands. Rambling on again. Yes, guys, thanks so much for my birthday greetings. It feels great. It does feel great. It didn't feel great earlier this month when I thought, hey, 60's approaching and it's gonna get to be that moment in time. But yes, it is feeling better. I'm actually getting in better shape these days, thankfully, because my wife kicks my butt and for eating better and stuff like that kind of thing. So yeah, I didn't eat that great last night because it was my birthday, and you fool yourself, don't you? And with your diets, oh, I deserve that. Yeah, when you start deserving things every day, that's when you have a problem. Okay, so try to keep the treats to a minimum and keep your life in line and keep yourself healthy. And as you get older, because most people who watch this show are probably in my age group, so let's get together, guys, and live a little longer, and be happy and grateful. I think gratitude was a big word that I used this month. I should be grateful for everything I have. Don't be worried about money stuff, and don't be worried that you don't have as much as someone else, because that's really not what it's all about. It's about being comfortable with your own skin and your own place and your own people, and taking care of the people that are closest to you. And that is what the world should be about. It should be peaceful and not at war with people and all that kind of things. But aren't I the flower child saying all these things? But musicians, we need to keep the love in the world going, and that's what we do. We play live and keep people happy. There, I said it. And I'm very grateful to be here after 60 years, and all the people that I've carried with me for a ton of those years, and the new people that have come along in the last few years. We keep going on that ride, and I enjoy the people that are around me, and it's great that everybody can be happy. And let's do something kind for anyone today in honor of me. Why me? Anyways, it's my happy birthday weekend to everybody else who's having a happy birthday. There's a lot of birthdays around this time of year, so happy birthday to everybody else who's having a celebratory end of May weekend. May is over. The good weather is here. Happy June. We'll see everybody in June for shows out there. Keep the faith. Watch the Bridge on Fire Facebook page for all our updates on what's coming up. And watch out for Jacob's new album, which hopefully he released. I gotta check to see if he's released that. Jacob's new album is out. I don't know if he had a title yet, so maybe it's not released yet. But anyways, watch for Jacob D'Souza's album. Anyways, take it easy, guys. Have a great one. Thanks again for the birthday greetings. Cheers.